Hi everyone, this is Music Unpacked with me, Chris Holly, and today we're looking at the clarinet. I'm going to show you the different parts and how it works. You get lots of different sizes of clarinets. This is the most common in B flat. You can also get some that are bigger and smaller as well. First of all, let's see how all the different parts fit together. You start with this reed, which is very similar to on a saxophone, and you put it on this thing called the mouthpiece. Then it's held in place by this called the ligature. You tighten it up with these screws. That goes on the barrel. The barrel goes on the upper joint, which attaches to the lower joint. And finally, like a trumpet, a bell at the end. Voila. Like a saxophone, basically how it works is that you blow into this part here, and the reed vibrates, sending the sound through the instrument, and you open different keyholes to change the note. The clarinet is part of the wind family, as you make a noise by blowing through it. Within that, it's part of the woodwind family. That includes things like recorders, flutes, oboes, bassoons, and saxophones. Within that, it's a single reed instrument. That means it has just one reed like this, a bit like a saxophone. That's different to instruments like oboes and bassoons, which have a reed, but they use a double reed. I'll show you that another time. Here's what it sounds like. Clarinets have been around for about 300 years, a bit like the piano. That means they're older than saxophones, but not as old as things like oboes and flutes. They're usually made of wood or plastic, and as they've developed over the years, you can now see there's a lot of interesting keywork. For example, here's a normal, just a hole you cover up with your finger, and here's another hole, but when you press it down, it also pushes down this key here. There's lots of side keys which move levers like this. Some up here, and then these flaps operated with your little fingers. On the back there's just this rest for your thumb, and then your other thumb can cover a hole here or operate this little key here at the top. Like an oboe, flute or recorder or saxophone, if you cover most of the holes, it's going to be a lower note. And as you lift fingers off, the note gets higher. That's because the sound's coming out here now. It's a short distance rather than going through the whole instrument before the sound comes out. Once all your fingers are off, if you want to go even higher, that's when you have to press this little key on the back, and then you do the same fingers, but it makes it much higher up, like this. Key on the back down. The clarinet has one of the biggest ranges of all woodwind instruments, which means it can go pretty low, like this, and in the middle, and high. One of the unique features is its lovely warm, rich tone. Another thing is that you can play really quietly low down without much difficulty. That's really difficult on something like an oboe or bassoon or saxophone. Clarinets sit with other woodwind instruments in the orchestra, usually behind the flutes and next to the bassoons. But as well as in the orchestra, you can find clarinets in wind band, jazz bands, marching bands, and on their own. In classical music, a clarinet tends to be one of the few instruments that doesn't use vibrato. That means playing like this instead of like this. The second one was with vibrato, and you do hear that kind of thing in jazz. So here we are. I hope you find that interesting, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.